So today we are going to do something a little bit crazy, a little bit stupid. Let's build Hungry Hungry Hippos in Minecraft. That's right, Hungry Hungry Hippos. For those who don't know, Hungry Hungry Hippos is an early childhood game where you would try and get these little balls from the center using these hippos that would come and clamp down on them and then bring them into your pin. Let's start using pistons. Now, the way I was thinking that we could do it is that we have these pistons kind of fighting over a redstone block in the center. So you'd have them all the way around here. And that way we would be able to detect when the redstone is activated. So we need then a way of activating it. So I think this way would work. If you put a redstone torch, oops, the one thing I didn't get. If you get a redstone torch underneath, it would activate it. And so the plan then would be take the redstone torches here, there, and here. And so then you have a good old-fashioned fight. So what happens when they retract? The first piston to be removed will take the block. And so that'll be the game. Can you get it by the time the next piston pushes it? So we then need to find when the system has discovered that, oh, we've had redstone. All right, so the room then, we have to put these target blocks. What they'll do, redstone doesn't naturally give an output, but we don't want them powering the pistons. So by doing this, it won't power that other piston because what's happening is the target block is redirecting the redstone so this won't get powered. Cool. That means that actually will work. So we'll have this system basically all the way around here, and then we would be able to take an output from the target block and make a counter. So then we can just put it into a dropper probably, like this. And this way, we would be able to then count how many times we've done it. So let's see if this works. Let's put in just a crap ton of this. Okay. Let's see what happens when Hungry Hungry Hippos activates. Okay. One item got into it. So every time you do this, an item will be put in, and this will be your counter. And so that'll be how many balls you've gotten. So now we have this system in place. Cool. So the next thing we need to do is we need to make it so that you can retract it and then push it again very quickly. So actually this system might just be exactly what we want. We want this into a pressure plate, but we won't be able to see it very well. So we could have it a little bit higher. So if we put the platform there, we're gonna still need to put a repeater into this. Actually, it could just be a redstone. And then if we made a little spiral tower. Like this, something basic and simple. And then we have a platform up here. What happens when we do this? Does this power it? Okay, it does power it. So then we'll just have a pressure plate there going back and forth. And so the objective then is to get it as many times as you can. Yeah, that's what I was worried about actually. Because the strategy could just be that to get it in within 2 ticks. And I want to prevent that by having some sort of cooldown. The way this works is that this monostable circuit will put out a 2-tick pulse every time the pressure plate is activated, so that it remains somewhat fair for the other competitors. The delay till the next activation will then be determined by when the pressure plate can be activated next. So when you activate the pressure plate the first time, it'll send a 2-tick pulse to the piston, and then the piston will then extend back out, allowing the other competitors to grab the redstone block. So I will put the system on the other ones and see how that works. So we are now back, and we added the system to everything. So they all should work the same. And then we should have this too. Cool. So all of these should be working now, and all give us the same thing. So now they'll be fighting over this, and we'll be detecting when they get the output. So we should actually, we should make this a little bit better, I think. The way we can make this better is by adding the counting system not to the bottom, but to the top. So we add a, let's put it right here. So on this side, we can put a dispenser with a trap chest. I didn't want a trap chest. Chest. Okay, so we do a regular chest up to here, and that'll give us our score at the end of the round. So if we do that over here too, so then all we need to do is power it, and we can just put all the things back in there. And when we're done with it, let's put a hopper. Let's put a hopper here, and we can just put them back in. So that way cleanup is easy. I mean, we could just manually do it, but why do that when we have redstone? Look at that. Cool. So we do this, 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 and that. So that means we need to add one more thing here. Cool. So now that we have that, we just need to hook this thing back up. So this is probably pretty easy. You just do this into a tower. It could be just actually a torch tower. Cool. So now that's all of that. And we just added the torch towers. And now I think this is pretty much ready to play. So we would have to have the counting system's in place. Hungry Hungry Hippos. Now we just need a timer with this. And then we want to put a startup to it. So then if we do it like this, what this will do is override it to prevent it from changing. Once it's to 64, it won't change until this gets broken, and then it can restart again. When it's done, the observer will fire, which is up here. So then we'll have a note block. So this will trigger the system. So let's do it like this. Let's just have a da-dun, da-dun. So this observer will not work. The reason for that is because when this clock is done shifting all the items over, it won't move back up here until this is removed. So what we can do actually is, instead of putting an observer there, we take comparators and putting them here. What that'll do is, if we get a piston and also an observer, we put a piston here and here, then we can put the observer there. And then it will detect the change in state. And so then we just hook the redstone up here. And we'll still get that sound effect. So as a basic overview of how the system works, the way you start the game is you click the button. And then you come and you just try and get the redstone block. So you'll have a bunch of people going up at the same time, trying to grab the block at the same time. And it's the race to see how many you can get in a certain amount of time. And if we keep playing this, eventually, let's see. So eventually, once the timer runs out, which is however many items you add, you can hear that. It lets everybody know that the game has ended. And then you count up how many points you have. So this one had 4, that one had 6, that one had 3, and this one had 1. So the person with 6 is the winner of this game. And so you can set this to be up to 5 stacks. I think that might be around a minute. I'm not sure. I'm not sure exactly the time. I probably could figure it out. But you could have a variable time in here for each game. And then whenever you want to start up the next game, you just press this button and it'll send a signal to the clock to start. So I think we're finished with this. It's a nifty little machine. I really enjoyed building it. And honestly, even though it came from something that I played from childhood, I think this would be a very fun game to play on a server. And it's pretty compact. I mean, it could be, probably this could be more compact, but I want it as little delay as possible, among other things. So yeah, if you guys really enjoyed this and you want to build it yourself, I'll put a world download in the description. Or if you didn't understand a single thing I said, which is very possible, it'll be there for you to check out and to understand for yourself. So if you liked this video, please be sure to subscribe. I'll be doing a couple more of these. What am I talking about? I'll be doing a lot more of these and other series on my channels. If you'd like to check them out, they'll be in the description or whatever. Thank you and goodbye.